enough sound. Right. So, who do we want to... We started with Callahan last time. So, let's have a look at what's going on with... What's going on with Junnen? So, Junnen, you've been listening to all of this. All of this is pretty much in your sort of hand to your sort of fingers to your temple, Professor X kind of style, listening to all of this happen. What can we read on your face?
To me, my X-Men. The only sort of thing that I would have commented on is that I was prepared to jump in with Anput's procedure if he said nah, I'm not ready, and they still decided to go against his wishes. I was prepared to sort of get there as fast as I could, but seeing as that hasn't happened, I'm still just sort of paying attention, minding my own business at the bar, but, probably moved on to my second drink, maybe even third.
Yeah. Okay.
At the moment, I am just on standby. I don't particularly have any attachment to solve the mystery as much as I have an attachment to keep the group safe.
Okay. By the way, what equipment are you wearing right now?
I would have probably, after the meeting, rather than put my battle axe back, because I would have jumped into that after the training, I would probably held on to it. But I would have probably wrapped it up in another sort of blanket again. So I've got it sort of resting by me, just this giant, well, I mean, giant stick with cloth wrapped around it, but I don't think it takes a massive imagination to imagine that I am, in fact, carrying a weapon.
Yeah, which is kind of frowned upon. At some point, there might be sort of a staff coming in, sort of very gently, right, in a non-threatening manner, offer to lift it and bring it back to your room. I'm guessing you shrug them off.
I'll ask if I can leave it in the corner if they truly insist on having it out the way, but I'd rather keep an eye on it.
I think maybe there's a moment where, you know what, make me a persuasion check.
Sure. Persuasion. There we go. That's not good.
Wow.
Both of the rolls were twos.
We love
They
dwarf
really
persuasion.
decided.
We love barbarian persuasion.
Yay.
Yeah.
We love a good story.
No, I think that at that point, it's made sort of
That's a
clear.
2.5% chance.
Yeah. It's sort of made clear to you that you are not aware to. I mean, you most likely have your two hatchets underneath your arms, right? Hidden under the robe, but the battle axe is a bit too conspicuous.
Fair enough. Well, in that case, I'll probably just what I'll probably do then is ask if I can take a bottle back to my room.
Yeah, sure. That's definitely a possibility.
Or no, probably not a bottle, because again they dilute all their things. What's the name for it? Jug, a pitcher. That's the word.
Okay.
Pitcher.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You grab a pitcher of what honey beer or whatever you might find. Yep. And so yeah, you can be at the.
I'll just take it to my room and just sort of sit and drink.
Okay.
And remind me, we have windows to the garden, don't we?
Yes, you do. Let me just put you back into.
And how durable are said windows?
So the walls are made of stone, but the windows can be. So the windows are shut, but you sort of shut with
Can open them?
Yeah, you could definitely open them. I don't think it would take too much for you to be able to sort of step out. Okay. It'll take time, maybe, but or a bit of athletics check to sort of squeeze through, but we'll see. We'll see what that happens.
If you need to, you could probably. Junnen would absolutely be able to open that window further than it should be opened structurally sounded.
Yes, most likely what
I
you'll
will
do.
probably do that if there's a bolt in the window. Just while I'm listening, I'll probably in between sips just try to already force that out,
Yeah,
so I don't have to do it at the moment.
so you can it's one of those windows that opens from the bottom with a sort of a little latch to make sure that it doesn't go too far. But
Yeah, the suicide prevention windows.
it's well, it's sort of the opposite of a swinging window. Sort of it swings
Yeah,
but
yeah. I had.
it wouldn't take much strength, you think, to if you really had to squeeze through. You could most likely take the entire frame, so the wooden frame of the window, which is set into the stone. That thing you could just break it off and go through no problem.
Yeah, all right, brilliant.
It wouldn't be discreet.
In fact, yeah, I'm not necessarily like if it comes to that emergency, I don't care about being discreet.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it's not a massive emergency, I will like my plan is to just use doors and go outside normally. This is mostly just the tower is like out in the garden. If someone screams help now, I just
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let doors or windows stop me.
Okay, fair enough.
I open the window. The window doesn't open though. I open it.
Yeah.
And
Oh, so that's what you mean by barbarian persuasion. I make a
Yeah.
strength check.
make a strength save, idiot.
Okay. So yeah, you're sort of waiting there, at the ready, waiting for the signal to come and help. Okay. Let's go to Anput. What are you thinking?
Oh boy, what is an Anput thing? I think first of all, she would also be hearing the psychic link as well, and that is another distraction on her mind.
Yeah.
So in the psychic mind, when one of the what were their names? What are the
Leola?
are they the Coppercrest sisters?
The Coppercrest, yes.
When one of the Coppercrest sisters says, "I'm used to my own faults," Amput will also respond, "I'm used to that as well."
Okay, who's that? Who are you?
It's Amput. One of the only ways I can speak.
The
I guess I'm connected to the bond as well, to the psychic link.
He's a climber. He's
I'm a bit indisposed. I'm keeping the 3 elven sisters distracted.
you do that. See. The as Rissa sort of turns to, are you okay, little one?
You
seem
she's,
to
like, looking,
dozed off
like,
there
up
for a
in the
second.
corner. Being here, it change. It's scary.
There's no need to be scared. As Morgana's mentioned, we've done this many times now. It's down to a science.
I know.
We won't even need to. Look, maybe explaining the procedure might help. What do you think, sisters? Morgana sort of goes, yes. We wouldn't even need to touch you, in a way. You notice the canvas and the painting supplies. That's our manner of appeal to the goddess. It's manifesting desires, ambitions, transformations.
You paint change.
A green song said, yes, actually we do. Each of us has a particular set of, our way. I take care of the colors, Azrissa sketches, and Morgana fills in with the paint. And with a bit of luck and a bit of faith, the portrait manifests through the subject to the supplicant. That would be you, dear. So?
Yes.
you've been doing this with Henry.
Oh, not
I've seen-
yet. Well, Henry is. There are limits to. So, as Rissa says, well, Henry's a case. The burns that he sustained were of an eldritch nature. And we've managed to heal as much as we can and bring back strength to his limbs, but yes, the markings of whatever accident that he had have left deep scarring and are, well, either by mundane or magical means, we cannot repair everything. So,
Yeah.
and Green sung. So we've offered him the possibility of coming and, well, we were supposed to meet him tonight, but well, we have guests, and so his treatment will be later this evening. Once, but however, we are indebted to you, and so if you wish to have the opportunity to do so now, we may. After that, well, it is not like well, Henry should be going through, and then we have other patients, other supplicants that are to arrive tomorrow. So, well, we were not aware that you might need such help. So there might be a bit of a waiting. Well, this is not something that we can do every night, every day. It takes a lot from all three of us. You understand?
Okay.
It's like she's now like playing whatever fruit she's picked up now. Clear, it's becoming more and more clear that she's not sure on what to say on the matter.
Okay. What does the player want? Okay. What does the player? I don't want to force the player right here, right? I'm not going to do that. But do we want to see? Does the player want to see what's going on?
I so want to see what happens.
Well,
I so
then-
want to see what happens. But Anput's smarter than I am. Anput
True.
is smarter than I am.
Now,
She's trying to hold on for as long as she can, but her poor anxiety, fear-riddled body.
okay. I would say that you're coming to the end of the meeting, right? As in, this is not because I know the player is wants to see that. I'm going to force the character, not the other way around. Okay. So, I think Hawthorne, you notice that right now the conversation, they've definitely put hooks into Anput, but Anput is maybe a bit too scared to bite, which is good for her in a way, right? But you also know that they don't necessarily want to pull those lines just yet. They're not desperate to do so. But it also means that would cut your time short. And for what you know, Callahan still needs a bit of time to explore that shrine. And I think Anput, there might be some understanding of that as well, which is you might want to push a little bit more into dangerous territory just to give Callahan a bit more time.
That is acceptable, yeah.
So with that knowledge, what do you want to do?
Ain't that the question of the century?
Yeah, well,
I'm now trying to formulate a few words.
okay.
Because being put on the spot like this is very
Okay.
cool.
Well, then let's move back to Callahan.
Yeah, sorry.
No worries.
Listen, I am so into whatever fucked up Dorian Gray shit is happening here. So
Oh, you have no idea.
We're going to the fly Anput.
By the way,
Get
Callahan,
more
are you
fly.
going? So as you step onto onto the stairs, who goes first? Do you go first, or do you let the sisters go first?
Given that the sisters seem to struggle with the lighting, or rather lack thereof, less than I do, I think I'd let one of the sisters go first in a sort of trust but verify setup.
Okay, then
And
Leola is definitely going to go first. And we are going to change maps.
Ooh.
So let's put it like this. Let's put it like this, and I am going to put in a token so that the other players might be able to see. And markers.
Yay. Go ahead, peep the horrors. Tell me what you see.
This is what
Come
you
on.
don't see.
Harry.
Yeah, exactly. That I'm a very big fan of that particular trick. Thank you, Abria. So I'm going to give you night vision. Let's go for it. 30. There we go.
This mirror
And
shows you your deepest desire, Harry. What do you see? In his hand is a hamburger.
he was hungry.
I'm hungry.
Okay, here we go.
See an author for Harry Potter who's not a bird.
When you said broken mirror shards, I had a feeling.
Yeah, you did you? Okay. I might I maybe just screwed myself by revealing this too early, but anyways.
Mm-hmm.
As you come down the stairs, the stairs lead you to a soft white glow rising from a square pool set in the floor of an underground chamber. Here, torn cushions, rugs, tapestries, and clothing have been sort of piled in one corner as a makeshift bed. And there are twigs and scraps of deadfall form sort of a small campfire, extinguished for now. You see a bundled up humanoid figure underneath sort of a makeshift. It's not a cloak. It used to be maybe sort of some sort of tapestry or long piece of cloth, right? It's a decorative cloth that she has sort of wrapped around her head, her shoulders, and her body. She seems to be peering into the water, looking at, it's either something below or this glow emanating from below. But as she hears you sort of come down, and noticing your lantern, of course, she turns and in a sort of raspy voice says, "Stay away! Keep away! Go away! Who are you?"
Hello. I assure you, we mean you no harm. Are you?
That's what they said as well. Stay away! Stay away!
Let's see.
I do not want to hurt you. I do not want to... But I will if I need
don't
to.
want to hurt you either. I was sent by, and here Callahan, aka the player, is struggling to remember the name of the water nymph.
Silvari, this is Silvari.
Serena?
Serena, yeah.
Serena.
I believe I know a friend of yours. Serena?
Make me a persuasion check with advantage.
With advantage. Ooh, okay.
Well, you said the right words.
Persuasion. Now it's up to the dice not to fuck me. That's bad.
How do you...
That is...
What have you done to her? And as she opens... she basically stands up, right, and faces the three of you. As well.
Oh God, no!
Yes! Yes! We love Gorgons! We love Gorgons in this house!
So in this case,
literally
no,
what we said.
well, Gorgon is other thing for D&D. But could you please make me a DC 14 Constitution saving throw?
Oh bugger! Okay, this is Constitution, raw Constitution.
Yes, Constitution save.
This is fine. This is fine. Don't. Oh, okay. Okay, this is not fine. In fact.
It is no longer fine.
Right. Okay.
Uh-oh.
That's all, folks.
So one of two things happens in this moment. The first is any of you who were part of the link shuts off immediately. As Callahan is instantly petrified.
Instantly?
Yes. If the saving throw fails by 5 or more, the creature is instantly petrified. And I believe that a 5 is much less than 14.
5 is equal to 5.
Yeah.
It just flash frozen, just changeling statue.
Basically, yes.
And there we go. That's Callahan, everyone.
That's Callahan. Thank you. Round of applause.
That's it.
Thank you for playing. Get out.
Right. So,
Yikes.
right. Let's move back to the other map then. I'm actually gonna make the same thing for the two ladies. Constitution. Oh boy. 16 and a 21. They managed to avert their gaze and most likely run up. Run right back up. So I think we're gonna go back to the rest for Lily now. To the other map. In this particular moment, all of a sudden, Junnen, you feel the tether break. Same thing for Anput. Right? Something's wrong. It's even as you test out, you can only hear your own thoughts. The link is broken. What do you do?
The link is broken. Woof. I just need a tiny bit of information before I do a thing.
Okay.
Has Callahan done this before on a past excursion for what got us here?
So,
And would they have explained how it could be broken?
so here's the thing.
I just realized one thing, by the way.
Yes.
It's a Hail Mary, but I do have something called Psi Bolstered Knack, and I'm not sure if I can still use that.
You know what? Let's. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Let's see. The specific conditions are if you fail an ability check using. Oh, no, never mind. It's using a skill or tool with which I'm proficient. This was a raw
No!
constitution.
This was a saving throw. Yeah.
Never
No,
mind.
alternate future ruined.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, do you have
Your canon
proficiency in Constitution?
Proficiency in Constitution.
Because you rolled a check rather than a saving throw.
If you're
Oh,
Do you have a Constitution saving throw of +3?
I have a Constitution saving throw of +3.
Right. So it wouldn't change anything to the roll.
Yeah, never mind.
if we're looking at the same proficiency table, then no, we do not have proficiency in Constitution.
Yeah. Now, other GMs, more generous GMs, would say, "Oh, you rolled the wrong die. Please re-roll again." I could be persuaded. You know what? Roll me a Constitution saving throw. I am feeling generous. Very generous.
Okay.
Let's see if you get double stoned.
I was
That'll
ready
be
to move on,
hilarious.
but here we are. Canon event.
That is a 12.
It's not great. It's not great, but it's not a 5.
It's not instant. And in my opinion, makes a better story. We move back a little bit. I'll say this. The link does break. Let's leave that in the canon.
Okay.
As
sounds
Callahan, we move back to you. This would be, the end of the episode, the end of the episode or just before the commercial break, where all of a sudden we move to the others and going, oh, there's no more contact. What happened? And there's a flash of the anyways, doesn't matter. Yes, there's a flash of these emerald eyes, and you start to feeling that ever mobile flesh of yours, that skin, those sinews that ever want to sort of shift and change, and it takes your concentration to actually keep them in place into one shape, one form. All of a sudden, you feel them harden. You feel the skin starting to you start feeling this oppressive cage that is your skin closing in as you start the petrification. This is not the first time maybe that you've seen Medusas, right? They are unfortunately a reality in this world, cursed by the gods for hedonism or vanity. All of a sudden turned to something that turns everything to stone around them. The sisters are quick to sort of cower away. I think most likely they'll scramble to they'll scramble to the upper floors. So I'm going to remove them from the equation right now. As the Medusa sort of looks to you and says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I did not mean no." And sort of hides her face in her hands.
It's all right. I understand. You're scared. I don't know what happened here, and physically struggling to speak against this flesh that is fighting against him. And I think at this point, he's going to simplify the equation for himself. I assure you, and Callahan's features disappear as he quits the effort to maintain the appearance of someone else.
Oh, because technically
I am here
we canceled
to help.
We canceled the effect, but your idea was to go down here with the traits with the features of Azrissa.
Yeah, never mind that. Yeah. No, that was something else. Yeah.
No, so you can see she covers her head back into this sort of makeshift shawl, and you can feel the enchantment sort of move away. Who are you? And you should not be here.
I was sent here. Do I still feel the impact of what is being done to me?
No. So the petrification sort of fades away, unless it takes a few turns normally to fully get into effect. But as long as it is not fully in effect, it dissipates.
It drains slowly.
Yeah. Thank you.
I was sent here by a being I encountered in the Restful Lily. It was...
Have they hurt her?
She has hidden from them, and they do not seem to either be aware of her or be able to dislodge her.
Oh, I'm sure they are very much aware of her. And dislodging a naiad is something. But What? Why are you here? I know you say she sent you, but she's... I've told her not to trust anyone while I was gone. Who are you to... Who are you to have her trust?
I suppose I am kindred of a sort.
Changeling, of course.
Yes.
There's that. So please just close your eyes or avert your gaze or some so that I just there's that awkwardness of two teenagers trying to ask each other to a ball. Sort of try to look at each other but not stare at each other. Because every time you meet her gaze, you feel that stiffness. Okay, that sounded wrong. Come back. And so she
Not
sort
that
of
kind
looked
of
at...
dungeon.
Yes. Well, don't please come. I saw your friends run up. Well, from what I understand,
They
they...
wondered what they would find here. They heard your wailing.
Well, I've been here for quite a while.
You are not as you once were, are you not?
No,
This is
no,
not the appearance I expected.
they made me into this. They tricked me. Made me... They spent months gathering my trust, and I was blind to it. These three sisters, they came, they wanted to help. I was exhausted. I've been managing this retreat for near on a century now. And, well, most of the acolytes come, go, and it's training them, and as soon as they're called to their temples. I was exhausted, so when these three gifted individuals showed up and they started helping around, it lifted quite a bit of weight from my shoulders. And then, well, one evening I discovered the truth. They were
What truth?
hags. The coven to come here specifically to... Well, I don't know what their true intentions were, but when they started... It was during an evening, they started painting my portrait. And, well, something happened and I now look like this. I've tried to keep as much out of sight and out of sound. But when I fled into this shrine, they sealed the shrine up, broke the mirrors so that I may not walk with my sight above, and I have been trapped here for now over a year.
Hags, eh? I
Yes.
suppose this is a family affair after all.
I
am sorry you've been imprisoned this way, but you are not without power. What stops you from walking out of this place, escaping or confronting to regain what is yours by right?
Part of my curse is that I cannot see my own reflection without turning to stone. It's a curse that all Medusa share.
I see.
I have been told that that they have shattered the... I could hear it. That they've shattered the mirrors and spread the glass all over the floor above. I cannot escape. And, well, while I have tried to move about with my eyes blindfolded, apparently all exits have been sealed. Doors and windows alike.
Not all. I came
Well,
in, after all.
That may be true, but your way of ingress was unseen to me.
There's a crack in everything. That's how the light comes in. There's a hole in the roof. I can be your eyes.
Well, that would be helpful indeed. There's... If you could... There's a... My mirror is down deeper in the well. They let me keep it out of spite and mockery. It could be of some help to anyone. Are you a spellcaster? Do you manipulate the weave?
My gifts are different, I'm afraid. But I do know one who does.
Well, that hand mirror might be of some use to him, at least. Are you here with many?
I am here with few, but I am here with enough.
Oh, good.
I have confidence in their skills.
Good. Well, we'll need them. Right. So you can get me out of here, and we can try and retake this place?
I can. I will require help. I think your sisters might have ensnared someone I know. What are these portraits you speak of? Is part of you trapped in there? Your power, your nature?
I have not had
They-
much time and opportunity to delve into the magics of these creatures. All I know is that what was to be a portrait seemed to have been a ritual of some kind, and they trapped me in this form. I do not know how to undo it, nor if there's any way to undo it. My soul is mine, I know that much.
You are still priestess, are you not? Does your faith still bring blessings to you?
No. No. And I will leave that answer to that.
A pity.
However,
Still.
And she's blindfolded herself, and sort of holds out a sort of very delicate hand in your direction, sort of asking for your help in this case.
In a moment, of course. You spoke of a mirror.
Yes, below.
Be right back. I
Actually,
dive.
Okay. As soon as you dive, you realize that the water here is similar to, I would say, taste and sort of odor and feeling to the water from the springs, but the temperature is different. This one seems to be a cold spring. So it is as soon as you hit the water, it feels like ice takes you. Can you give me a Constitution saving throw, please?
Let's try and find the right
Let's do
die
that.
this time.
You fool! It's liquid nitrogen.
Yes, I am invincible.
I roll like shit tonight.
Well, 11's enough. I was gonna get the difficulty was 10 anyway, so.
Okay.
But yeah, it's heavy. As you dive in, expecting maybe the warm waters that of the thermal spring, here you can't escape. There's that breath that escapes you as the cold hits your chest. It doesn't take you much to find so it's about 10 feet. 30 feet below water. So it takes a bit of kicking, but it's you have this sort of radiant, so this bright silver hand mirror. That again, it's the same it would have been sort of the same version that you'd see in Henry hold, except this one is there's golden filigree inlaid within it, and it irradiates. It is a source of light. So fairly easy to find, and as you climb up, it'll as long as you hold it, it basically gives you bright light within 5 feet. So it's not much, but yes, you have it you have it in your hand. You also feel as you come up. There's a moment where you're a bit struggling, and you feel a current sort of surround you and lift you up, and you escape with a healthy breath of warm air. Realizing that that you've had some elemental help, as a figure appears.
Ooh.
Here we go.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh.
Sylvari wasn't without a guardian, even if it wasn't her friend. And
Big
so
boy.
I'm guessing you step up, back up into the.
And I do my best to guide her and make sure that she doesn't cut her feet up.
Okay. In the meantime, the others, the link has been cut. Junnen, what do you do?
Do I know where he was? Was
Yes.
I listening to the conversation that he was with a Gorgon / Medusa?
No. So the last thing that you felt was the oh shit, and just broke. Right. The only telepathic, the telepathy you can't necessarily see through their eyes, fortunately. But yeah, it's communication. So Callahan might have just gone, or I think no, you would have heard maybe Leola sort of Medusa, and just sort of run off just before the whole thing cut.
Okay.
Do any
Well, in that
do any of
case,
us two know what that is?
Yeah. So I think you would have. It's been.
Okay.
Let's put it this way.
The
Maybe
knowledge
you
of a
didn't
creature
hear.
that can petrify something.
Maybe you
looking
didn't
at
necessarily hear the word Medusa, but by Leola's cry, Callahan's sort of intake of breath or sort of expression, you know that there's danger.
Okay. Do you want to continue, Junnen?
Yeah, in which case, refer to my previous GIF.
Okay. Well,
I'm just gonna break the window. It's just he says, "Oh shit, I'm just emergency." It's not like, "Oh, I need help now." It's, "Oh shit," and then cut off, just straight beeline to wherever he was.
That's
Right.
all I need. Is that Bane,
Good
by
night,
the way,
good
breaking
dwarf.
through all those walls?
No, it's
No.
Juggernaut.
That's Juggernaut, bitch. One of his worst incarnations, but wasn't. Yeah, I think
the GIF.
make me give me an athletics check, and if you want to
Sure.
rage, you will have advantage.
For fun, break the window. How well
And
do
if
you
I want to
break it?
what? I will have advantage.
If you want
Rage.
to rage.
Oh, if I want to rage. How long does rage last again? If I rage, though, I wouldn't still have it by the time I get down, because I'm not attacking anything, am I?
So, in the new 24 rules, if you are not getting hit,
interesting.
if you are not attacking or getting hit, all you need is spend a bonus action to keep raging.
Hot.
Oh,
Previous-
that's very nice.
Yeah, so you no longer have to.
Barbarian.
Yeah, so you no longer have to keep a bag of bees to give you 1 damage every turn.
Previous barbarians I've played with punch themselves in the face. to
Yeah,
do
exactly.
damage, so
Yeah.
that they
Yes,
would continue
that's
to
another
rage.
common one.
So make me an
Okay.
athletics.
I'll hold off on the rage because it's still it's
Okay.
still new rules. It still only does last 1 minute, doesn't it?
No. Well, I mean, you tell me. You've got your character sheet.
I believe it does. Hold on. Features and traits. Rage.
I think it's longer than that. I think it's 10 minutes now.
Up to 1 minute.
Up to 1 minute. Oh, okay.
It's 10 rounds.
But
at
I am
least.
using legacy rules for context.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. Doesn't matter. But yeah, make me the athletics check or an attack.
I'll just do a regular one for now.
Yeah, go ahead.
And hope for something good. Never mind. Why is these so bad?
The window punches back. Roll for initiative.
It's one of those. There's that film where someone punches through a window and then cuts themselves on the.
No, you know what
On
this
the
is? This is the Naked
It's
Gun.
a mimic.
This is the Naked Gun.
Oh, yeah, I love that movie.
You know which scene I'm where O.J. Simpson tries to crash through the door, but just his leg goes through. And so all of the guys on the other side have the time to fully take out their weapons, load the bullets and everything, while he's sort of struggling in. But this is very much I'm going to break through. You break through, and just your arm goes through, and you're going, shit, I'm stuck. I haven't taken the rest of it. This is not a situation where time is necessarily a crisis. You are going to get through, right? But it does literally take you to unsheath your axe and basically hack at the window to get through and climb out.
Okay, brilliant.
And there's some great window makers in this place.
Yeah, well, yeah, that or very flimsy.
Really, no expense was spared.
Yeah, as you hack your way into the night air outside, and you rush. Basically, you find yourself exactly where you are right now.
Which question? Just out of sheer. Okay. Oh yeah. No. Okay. I'm outside of here. Okay. In which case, I believe they went upstairs, up a tower, didn't they? So I'm gonna have to figure out how to climb that.
So
Or
no.
did they open a door? No.
So you have the tower on one side, where where Anput and Hawthorne are, and then you've got behind the hidden trees on to the west. You have hidden behind the trees. You have the shrine. So where do you go? Do you go to the tower or to the shrine?
Well, Callahan was in the shrine, wasn't
Yes, yes, he was.
he? Then I'm gonna head towards the shrine. Because
Okay.
I think the other two are fine for now.
Yeah. So as you rush up, you can hear, basically you can hear sort of grunting and shushing and muttering just on the other side of the door, or this massive stone double door, right? And you can see there's this literally sort of clear resin that has been applied to the door. It doesn't take much to recognize that this is this sort of glue is of a magical nature, right? This is how'd you call it again?
They use flex glue on it.
Uh,
It's so tough. Can't believe it.
To show you the power of flex glue,
I
I
saw
glued
this
this
shrine in
door
half,
together.
yes, absolutely.
and then I put it back together using the power of flex
I
glue.
broke this window in half and put it back together using nothing but flex tape.
Flex tape and
So, yeah.
2 instances of the Barbarian Rage feature.
Oh, sovereign.
It's the equivalent of sovereign glue, so which means you would need either a magical effect or literally to hack it off. It looks like if
Let's just go around the door then. Congratulations, you've make the door a wall. So I just got to break through the wall now, right?
Well, technically, you could attack the resin or try and you could try and go through the doors. Yes.
All right. Also, at any point on the way there, do I run into the sisters or not?
No, you do not.
Okay. Yeah, I just keep going.
Okay.
Do I roll another athletics check and hope this one goes better? Or do I roll an attack?
Go ahead. As you could
The
try to
witch.
sort of
Rolling
bash
attack,
through,
right?
or I mean,
Attack, yeah.
well, roll in athletics.
That's better. That's
Okay, never
much
mind.
better.
I said 19 out of 20. Plus whatever your athletics is.
So that would actually
No,
be
this was an attack. This was an attack.
yeah. So
I-
you attack a stone door.
Do I have a pickaxe or anything like?
Well, you have an
I'm a
axe.
dwarf. Can we assume that I would have some sort of mining?
You're a brewer, not
Or-
a miner.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point.
I mean,
Yeah, you can't be a
specific.
brewer if you're a miner either.
Thank you for making my joke for me.
Sorry, wait, what was the joke? I missed that.
There's no way you can have a
Underage
pick
drinking.
because yes, as a miner you wouldn't be able to brew.
When I was young.
Oh, right. Yeah, because under the... Yeah.
Anyways, definitely the kind of joke that merits repetition.
Yes.
Right. I'll give you the I'll give you the roll at least for with athletics, so that's a 21, which is you.
Okay.
It takes a couple of hacks. It takes a bit of a shoulder bruising, but you manage to crack through some of that resin and sort of push the door open to find the two sisters basically rush up to you, grab you, and sort of thank the gods. There's something down there. There's a Medusa down there. Callahan got caught. I can't hear him. He must have been petrified. And they're sort of blabbering all about. As that is happening, you actually see, because you have dark vision. Let's just open this up. Here we go. You actually do see Callahan leading a sort of fairly tall figure. She's maybe about 1.75 meters, maybe 80. Difficult to determine her full height due to how she stooped and sort of wrapped into this this sort of tablecloth. But yeah, Callahan and Junnen, you sort of meet eyes at this point. And Junnen, I'm pretty sure that you know Junnen still very much with the axe in his hands, and with Kelna and Leona basically with a screech and a yell sort of rush out beyond Junnen's outside, hiding behind his form.
Huh. No more drinks then.
No, I still have the drinks on me, but you're looking surprisingly limber for a statue.
Yeah. That was a close one. A little bit of a misunderstanding. Anyway, meet the actual manager. Well, at least she was supposed to be. Got a bit of a forced makeover, but we're working on that.
And the psychic link, then?
Oh, yeah, turns out it's difficult to focus when you're busy not turning into stone. My bad.
Are you still turning into stone?
I better hope not. I've been very polite and everything.
You flex your fingers. Now the usual mobility's back.
So, also, yeah.
False alarm.
Yeah. Ladies, sorry it was a bust. But hey, you've helped me release the owner of the place. That's actually something pretty awesome. These two fine guests to the temple have been instrumental in helping me getting you out.
I'm going to turn my attention to the Medusa is blindfolded. That's the owner that he's talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to sort of look. So, you're the actual owner of this place.
I was, I guess, still am. Yes.
Well, I certainly hope you're more open to criticism than the others. And once we get you back in your place, if you're interested, I've got a lot of things I'd like to suggest.
There's the sort of a smile that goes over your. You know what? No. You know what? No. Make me a charisma check. Because I want to know how your humor lands on her.
Charisma or
straight charisma?
Straight charisma.
I mean, do you have persuasion?
Ooh, that's not a great straight.
That's not a good.
You should have tried some gay charisma. That might have gone well.
Gay charisma.
Yeah, it's all It's all the buzz nowadays.
Um, yeah.
To be
No,
honest, I'm not necessarily looking to like be persuasive about it. I'm just like the main thing is that like it's supposed to just be an awkward way of saying we're gonna put you back at like in
yeah,
charge.
yeah, yeah.
Like it's not at all the best way to do it.
I think that again, you rolled a 7 and a 19, which
Yes.
basically means that in one world, if she were in a better mood, she would take it as that. But I guess she must have taken going, oh, this is why I allowed the sisters to actually take over for me and take this thing from under me and get tricked because of these guys endlessly complaining and suggesting everything. You know, you've just reminded her of the ungrateful guests and patrons that went through and basically turned her to burnout.
Well, Callahan, I'm going to assume you probably have about one turn, i.e., 6 seconds, if you want to, I don't know, correct the misunderstanding.
Like,
No, you just hear a heavy sigh from Silvari. She's definitely not going to turn you to stone right now, but
oh, no worries. He's
Oh, okay.
he's always like that. It's his way of saying hello.
I'm sure. Could
He does.
we
He's
could we just
yeah,
could we just please get me out of here, please?
certainly.
Oh,
And
gladly.
I
I
will.
mean, ideally, we get you out of here, then we get you back in your proper office where you belong.
Let's first avoid the glass, shall we?
Certainly.
That's when, Junnen, you actually notice that the entire floor has been, like I said, you've got these sort of shattered mirrors that have been, and the glass has been sort of spread throughout the room. Maybe you would know enough about Medusa to say, well, this is basically, she would not be able to pass by eyes open without turning her to stone, which was most likely the trap the sisters laid out for her.
Oh, that's clever.
It is, somewhat.
So,
We are talking
let's
about hags.
dance. And I take her hand and I do my best to weave her through the space and offer my arm so that she may walk without seeing.
Okay, I'll just
I'll
move
do
her
the same
out.
as well.
There you go.
I'll pass her a javelin that I do have in my inventory as like a stick of sorts,
Okay.
if nothing else.
I mean, you're in a forest. So there's definitely going to be sort of a, you can find something to help her with a cane or something along those lines.
Yeah, but it'd be a nice sturdy metal javelin, so I figure at the very least to start with, if we do happen to be gifted with a god stick,
Yeah.
swap it out. But
Okay.
nothing wrong with a nice metal pole.
Right. So, as you are sort of stepping outwards, Hawthorne, Anput, as you there's the conversation is again the sort of the conversation is sort of dying down a bit, right? And there's indications from the sisters that the time has passed, that you are invited to move on with the rest of their evening, and that they have other things to handle. As mentioned previously, you would know that there would be one way for you to stay a little bit longer. But the link having just been broken, what do you do?
You promise that they're not the speaking. Nothing will go wrong.
Dear, it is not for us to decide. Wrong, no. The worst that can happen is that nothing happens at all. If the goddess does not find the appeal to her liking, she will just refuse. the procedure goes, and as my sister said, we have done this before. Sometimes it has failed, but never to an extent that you will not be hurt by this procedure tonight. No. Well, tonight.
If this is like a cinematic part, this is the part where like the camera is now like faced forward on Anput,
Yeah.
and there's like a little like pendulum behind her saying, "Take the procedure, speak," and the
Yeah,
other side
yeah.
says, "Don't take it, be
Yeah.
safe." And
Very
I'm
much,
gonna
yeah.
roll 1d20 real quick.
Okay.
If it's a single digit, I will take it.
Okay.
That is a 12.
That is a
Double
12.
digit.
Anput will look to the painting suppliers, and then to the easel, which I can't see anymore. It's a little weird here with our vision. Like we're able to move around, but we don't have that much vision. And Anput will look to Ezrissa, and she will say, "Oh, that is a lot better. I did not know Morgana was over there."
Tend to others first. We'll
Of course.
be here for some time. I'll have decided then.
Absolutely. Of course. Well, if that is the case, could we ask you of a favor then? When you do return to the resort, could you please, whether inform Seth or Henry himself, should you find him, to come by? We will be waiting for his treatment.
Okay. Yes. Thank you for
And thank you.
inviting us.
And thank you for accepting.
Yes. Professor.
Thank you all. Are you sure about your decision? I just signed this to you discreetly.
Yes. I need time. Change is tough for me.
It is for anyone. Well, thank you, sisters.
Of course. We'll see you around. And Green Song, and the last thing, please be safe. Enjoy the rest.
Of course.
Actually, Anput and Hawthorne.
Yes.
As you step away, could you please make me, both of you, a Constitution saving throw?
What number did it take? Ooh.
That's a 15 for Anput. Makes sense. 21 for Lucius.
All right,
Nice.
how high was it?
That's very nice. Okay.
The professor knows his stuff.
Yeah. Right.
Sometimes.
Okay. Fine. So two things happen, right? As you are sort of stepping out, there's as you step into the foyer, you can the elderly dragonborn is still there, and she almost has a sort of a sigh. There's a moment where you kind of think that she was listening behind the door. The way that she sort of curls up into the corner, she's not surprised as you opening up, when she's just there. She has sort of a look to see if any of the sisters follow you, and as she hurries you towards the door, it's almost Hawthorne with a hand on your back, sort of pushing you outwards, and there's just a murmur goes, "Stay away, stay away. If you said no, you've done the right choice. Go away. We are all cursed here." And I think Hawthorne, what's your passive history?
We have a passive history.
As in, what's your score in history?
It is +7.
Okay, a 7.
+7.
How
25 +7. Yeah.
How much of an interest would Hawthorne have to military affairs, as in battles, generals, soldiers, that kind of thing?
Not really that kind of things, but like dark magic, yes.
This is not about dark magic.
Yep.
This is about potentially recognizing who the Dragonborn is. But that will be. There's a familiar. You think that There's a moment where you think you might recognize this person, but unsure, right? It's almost like it's like knowing somebody and meeting their relative, right? There are traits that are similar, but you're sure you've seen these features somewhere.
This isn't the kobold we saw in the hallway.
No. This is not the kobold. No, this is not the kobold.
They've just been elongated and made
no.
viciously hideous.
Become a real boy.
You wanted to become taller. You're taller now. What's the problem?
I would say. So where are you headed? Hawthorne, Anput. Where are you headed?
I suppose.
Directly back to the spa, or
the Dragonborn who said that to Hawthorne, would Anput hear it as well?
Yes.
Okay, good. When we leave, and I assume leave the door closes, and we're walking back.
Oh, it is slammed shut behind you.
Anput just looks at the professor, terrified that she was going to say yes.
You did well, my friend.
And
let's
Almost said yes.
Let's say that this. Let's say that again, because we're coming up on time here. At least time for before conclusion, stuff like that. Let's say that this is where you would notice coming out through the brushes, you recognize that bright light emanating from the mirror, and sort of illuminating Callahan, Junnen. Well, 4 familiar figures and 1 unknown.
Something.
Anput will point into wherever they are. The light.
They are within sight of me, so I'm going to do it again. I'm going to expend one of my psionic dice to reactivate the
psychic link.
The psychic link, yes. Okay. Let me just find the feature again because it's somewhere.
No worries. We know it's there.
There we go. And we do the thing.
I'll consider
it's for the next 6 hours. What that's worth. And
I shall put you here, all of you together, hidden away from the tower by the trees, and you are able to catch up.
Anput treads carefully down the path, as if try and not be conspicuous. And then when she gets around the corner, she goes into a sprint, kind of on all fours, like a Monster Hunter Wild Sacred.
Yeah.
It just appears in front of everyone.
Who is
in your head you hear he is the original manager of this location. The sisters are hags who have taken over the temple out of deception. It had something to do with paintings. The paintings are binding rituals of some.
It is very easy to see what you read everything you need to on the bird's face.
Do I hear any of this, by the way?
Yes, this is the group chat.
This is the group chat. You are in the group chat.
Group speak.
Fantasy VC with the boys.
And this one, it's It's yeah, all three of you. So I'm not including any of the sisters. So at this point, it's just the party of four. It's me plus three others. So we are all linked.
Yeah, I just shared what happened in the room and how quickly we were pushed out. So they might be preparing for something.
I see.
Well, you
Well-
know, they are preparing for Henry to arrive. They're going to be because Anput wasn't going to take the
Oh, it's
procedure.
tonight.
Henry
Okay.
was going to combine tonight. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I have an idea, if you don't mind. Henry was supposed to go in, yes?
Anput will.
They said so.
Good. Don't tell him anything. And
Anput's eyes go wide.
if I'm not back in an hour, tear this place to the ground, if you'd be so kind. Leave something for her, though. And I point to the Medusa.
So, at this point, right, we have just about 25 minutes left on the counter. So I kind of want to, and I want to leave some time for the
Afterthoughts and
the afterthoughts and that kind of thing. So I'm going to move in a bit of storytelling part, right? So and you guys feel free to. We're going to go in a bit of a free play. We're not going to be playing with initiative or attack rolls or stuff like that. But you are aware of your abilities. If you wish to tell me how you utilize them and how we're going forth, let's go about it. So first, Callahan, you are planning to lone wolf this.
I am planning to try and pass myself off as Henry
Okay.
and try and see if I can figure while they are doing what they can with the help of Medusa, whom we've just released.
Hmm.
And essentially, I'm hoping to buy some time, maybe figure a few things out, while they on the outside are taking care of other things.
So Sylvari is very much in the
Sylvari.
mood. Sylvari is very much in the mood to just storming the tower, and using her power to basically, petrify her way to the sisters, who are not expecting it.
What you could do then is you could take the guise of Henry, like walk in, but then just have her barge in afterwards once all the sisters are there.
Yep. Okay.
Confirm that is just the opener.
I can work with that.
Is that the plan for everyone? Okay. Everybody good with that plan? Junnen, Hawthorne?
It's not really
Let
much
him
I
walk
can-
in first.
So it'd be Callahan walking in as Henry, occupying then maybe having...
I have been listening to the plan. The only thing I've forgotten is who Henry is.
Henry is the wounded soldier who's been getting treatments
the
for
guy
his...
I ran into on the way to the gym with
Yes.
the facial scars
Yes.
and stuff.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Let me just get you this guy.
Let's see. Yeah, okay, yep. So he's gonna go in disguised as him, and then we're gonna weaponize the Medusa eyes?
Basically.
Oh, before I forget, I think you'd like this, Professor. And I flip the mirror to your hands.
So it doesn't take much, Hawthorne, to realize what you have in your hand. Maybe it'll take about... it takes a bit of time to attune to it, but it's basically a wand of the War Mage. In the form of an exquisite silver and gold hand mirror. In addition, while surrounded by darkness, sheds dim light in 5-foot radius. You can also, if you want to attune to it, you can use the enhance ability spell. Choosing yourself. The wand is Sylvari's, but she offers it freely for now, as she herself has lost any ability to cast spells.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
the
you,
only
my friend.
to turn to stone from Medusa, they have to look at you, or you have to look them in the eyes.
It is very much you. They are going to be actively trying to look at you and catch your gaze. Mechanically, it's if you look at them. When a creature that can see the Medusa's eyes starts its turn within 30 feet, the Medusa can force a DC 14 Constitution saving throw. There you go.
So
And
basically, we need them, the elves, or I guess the hags, looking at the door when the Medusa comes in.
Remind you, one of them is blind.
I'll take that one. Okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna be very close by, in case like the initial plan goes wrong, because then obviously my plan is to step in. If anyone's dying, it's gonna be me first. And
Thank you, father of the group.
an alcoholic father, but a father nonetheless.
Good qualities. He came back with the milk. That's how you know he's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he came back with the milk and a 6-pack.
Okay. Well, let's... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because if there's only one left, like my whole sort of barbarian thing, which I know we're not rolling for combat and stuff, but like the whole sort of abilities I have is to force whoever I'm focusing to focus me as well.
Yeah.
So ideally, if the other two can get turned to stone, the remaining one, I will just force them to to just focus on me, and then the other people can stay in safety while I just sort of try and tank the hits.
You
So-
have a taunt mechanic?
Yeah, basically, that's the...
Ancestral
that's-
Guardian barbarians do.
Oh.
If I rage and I attack someone, if that person tries to attack anyone else that isn't me, they get disadvantage, and then some other debuffs if they do manage a hit.
Right.
Yeah.
God, I should play barbarians more.
Anyways, let's move into sort of scenery here, right? Callahan, as you shift, the best thing about your outfit is that in the end everybody's expecting those white robes, and so as you step up to the door, you barely have to tap on the door, and you have this old dragonborn. Could you make me a history check?
Certainly I could. Let's see, history. Not my forte, but who knows? The dice might dice. Oh, which one is the? Nope. Nope.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna give you the crit on this one.
Oh,
Why not?
No, as an infiltrator,
Mhm.
you've learned the faces of many targets that you would have had to assassinate. One of these targets to be assassinated on sight during the war, mind you, was a certain Gorba Dardanrian, a high general, frontline general from one of whatever we might call the enemy. She was often the siege breakers. She would be called in to break borders, right? She would break sieges and towers with the same and she's been doing that for 70 years? And it had been said at a moment that she was maybe gaining in a bit of years, maybe softening up. There was a moment where we were thinking that she was retired until she came back. And for about a year, just before the war ended, about 6 months before the war ended, she was on everyone's mind because battle after battle. And then she just disappeared. and you realize, as you're looking at in this Dragonborn's eyes, you realize this is her. But the closest portrait that you've ever seen of her was maybe 30 years younger. Or this is her mother?
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
You whisper
What
that?
did they do to her?
Yeah.
Gorba sort of looks to you and goes, yes, well, deals to be made. I hope that you get a better one than I did. As Rissa sort of, as the door said, Darty, let our guest in, please. And you know what we said about muttering to guests. If you want to be a good adept, a good acolyte, silence is golden. And she the Gorba sort of goes back in. As you walk in, the sisters meet you. They were expecting Henry. They have not discovered you as a changeling. There's no reason for you to, because even they would see through any illusion, but your illusion is flesh. As you sit, they have you sit down into this sort of velvet, the big velvet chair that we'd seen previously. And they, in turn, they talk to you, they bring out a already sort of half started painting. As in, there's already parts of the sketch that's been made. You can basically see Henry, but Henry with maybe a couple of years younger, truly in his prime. He's wearing a uniform. How do you call it? The dress uniform, right? There's a couple of bars that show him as a higher rank, sort of a lieutenant or even captain. This is a man who's at the end of a successful career in the military, and he is ravishingly handsome. Not only has his scars been completely peeled away, but you can see that his hand is now fully formed, and he is literally in his prime. As Rissa continues the sketch, you can see that Greensong is muttering under her breath as she pulls powders and different viscous liquids that she's mixing in to create the paints. And you can't on Morgana's side, she's sort of whispering to you, trying to coax what your desires might be, as you try to express them, and she's sort of pulling this information that you know now to feed the painting and feed the inspiration, feed the wish in a way. You do your best, but you sort of feel that at some point Morgana is, this is maybe sort of, it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes. How long do you guys outside let this happen?
I am not sure. I'm not sure at what point our priestess would like to let this go on for.
She is
maybe
pacing.
10. She's pacing.
Yeah.
I would like to roll a stealth check.
Go ahead.
Just before I continue.
Yeah.
Okay, which one is that taking?
That's a 24.
Oh, thank goodness. There's a 24 total.
Yeah, you're
I would like to be at
invisible.
least 30 feet from the door.
Done.
Somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, right here. Just right there. That's good.
Yeah, somewhere here.
Yep.
Because I have a thing that I can do. Anput is able to do it.
Okay.
She just needs to be a little bit closer, so she'll be in the tree line.
Yeah.
So she where is our priestess?
The priestess is going to be hiding in the trees behind for now.
Okay.
When I can open door from distance if not locked. When I try and
I can
open,
force open door if locked.
yes. When door open, go ahead. I will try assist from outside.
Remind me, Anput, what class are you? What subclass are you?
Okay, so I am a rogue 4 and a fighter 1, but I have the feature for Artificer Initiate.
Okay.
Anput is going to get out a small, round, rusted ball, and she's going to, like, kind of like Hell. Is it? Where are the Pinhead people from? What Hellraiser? Is
Yeah.
that the one?
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
yeah.
And
an immense
she'll spin
configuration?
the ball and kind of like click it in place to turn it into a different shape, and it'll turn like the symbol of a hand will appear, and she will use Mage Hand
Okay.
to
Okay.
attempt to open the door.
Okay.
So
Things.
she will gently.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
At that point, things are going to accelerate. So this is maybe 10 minutes in, and actually, think you're waiting for Callahan's signal from inside, and I think Callahan, you start to realize that Morgana, as she's trying to involve you into the ritual, things are not happening because you're not Henry. And I think
They're trying to bind Henry, but you are not him.
exactly. And so I think there's a moment where she goes, something's wrong. Sisters, something's off. And the three of them sort of look at each other. And Callahan, I think that's when you give the signal. Anput, your hand reaches for the handle. At which point you realize that the winged elf statue sort of looks below, as it is actually a gargoyle animated.
Yep.
And which point combat starts. From unseen from your point of view, Anput, it's fairly easy for you to take care of the gargoyle, but the door is closed and locked. Junnen, I think this is where you come in, crashing the door down, right?
Yeah, Anput will absolutely distract the gargoyle.
Yeah. As you, with Hawthorne helping out with whatever spell that you might enhance with the brush, you move into the tower itself. On the other side, Silvari basically moving in, and you, as she moves, she walks into this tower with the poise of a catwalk runner, right? She just walks in, eyes blaring. Gorba just has a way of look and immediately turns to stone. She crashes through the door as the other two. A fight starts. We're not going to get into the specifics here. We don't have the time, but it's messy. But you've been told one thing by Silvari herself, Junnen, and this is your job. Go for the blind one, which was your objective in the meantime. But know that once a coven's hag falls, the coven is broken and their power is broken as well. Any form of magic that they would have needs 3 hags together. Drop one, you break their magic.
All right, let's go. Step into the ring. Let's do a few rounds.
Test your might.
With the help of the Coppercrest sisters, who are more there with, never underestimate a halfling with a stone in her pouch. The battle gets started. Morty reveals himself to be a hellhound protecting Greensong, but once he's put down, Greensong almost abandons the battle herself, crying over her hound, and it's easy to put her to death. The battle rages. You are hurt with spell, fang, tooth, and claw.
Me?
But in the end, oh no, and this is for everyone.
Oh, okay.
Right, with Callahan bringing out any spectral weapon that you might bring to sort of sneak attacking Morgana, at the end, you find yourself, all of you, back in here. Nobody's gone unscathed. Spells have been thrown around. Silvari's sight is always something difficult to manage. But in the end, you were an overwhelming force on an unsuspecting trio of hags. In conclusion... Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's just me. I called it. I told you.
Any of them make it out?
In conclusion, as you step away from the carnage, you find that the three hags, the three elven sisters, have shifted in appearance and demeanor. I can give you the descriptions should you wish. Morgana, now Dread Morgan, appears as a thin, pale creature whose long, matted hair is festooned with ornaments made from bones and teeth. Her mouth curves up unnaturally high at the corners, and her blood-red lips are covered in blisters and boils. While Sasha, once as Rissa, appears as a hunched figure with one muscular and one withered arm. She has cat-like eyes, and rusted hair cover her head, back, and arms. Her sharp fangs causes her to slur when she speaks, and she hisses and screeches when threatened. The final one, Auntie Greenbones, the eldest member of the fetid gays, this particular coven.
The fetid gay.
Yeah.
The fetish gaze.
Fetid gays, but you hear what you heard. In her true form, she's shriveled and worn. Her dark green skin covered in bark and fungus. Insects crawl across her and hide in the thick braid of white hair that curls around her shoulders like a serpent. Anyone who would stare in her milky white eye, seemingly blind, sees a reflection of their own face made decrepit and withered by age. But they are no longer a threat. Put to sword and sorcery.
Anput's crying now. Every emotion is out now. The bird is emotion.
As you explore the tower going forward, you find in this particular floor, in addition to the foyer, you find what is Seth's room. And find evidence of trinkets and other objects stolen by guests in the past. You now know who might have been the thief in the night. Well, not thief in the night. I mean, all objects go through his hands when they need to be cleaned, correct?
The thief.
Oh.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah. As you move up...
That's why they got a tongue lashing, yeah.
As you move up a floor, you find yourselves where you find a room where scattered furniture has been sort of jumbled up in a series of beds and mattresses. And here you find the servants. Gorba, unfortunately statuesque in her features. You find a dwarf missing hair with a half undone a toupee and a fake beard, who rushes Callahan, and this is the person you've been looking for. I'm going to open this up completely so that you may see fully
There were multiple, man.
Oh yeah. So this is the first. This is the first floor here. Falthrax, old dwarf, lacking hair. Sort of cleaning kitchen. You can see he's actually sort of mending with magic. He's mending a cloak or something along those lines. What you notice in the next room where their sleeping quarters is 4 large portraits. One of them is a dwarf with long flowing hair, a luscious beard, overlooking his peers, who are adorning him with gold and jewelry. You see a golden dragonborn leading over a crumbled barricade her troops as the light sort of hits her in this sort of glorious pose. You see a tiefling sort of high and haughty, smiling down with just a hint of a scaled claw, a scale motif in her clothing. In his clothing, sorry. You can see that his horns have adorned with all sorts of chains and jewels. Even further up, as you would find the room of the hags, you would find here a portrait of Silvari as she was. You see a beautiful elf, but pictured here, sitting restful in the chair that you saw below. She seems to be at rest and at ease. Almost this sort of silent beauty, just waiting for rest. But you do notice that the chair has an effect. There's an effect where you almost see her older than what she should be on the painting. Go ahead.
This all of them? All of them?
Yes, that is the all of them that you can find. Though, as you're looking through the different in the room of the hags, you actually do find a series of notebooks or sketch pads, and each of you has at least a sketch made of your face.
Is it accurate, or are there concerning things wrong with them?
No, this is, well, not concerning, as in you would see, for example, for you, Anput, is the throat is a little bit more distended. One that's missing is, well, Callahan. No, I think the idea is in the sketches, there's just a little bit more emphasis made on what could be wrong. Right, so we see a younger Professor Hawthorne. We see a bit more burly, a bit more a bit more brawn and a little less gut for Junnen, for example.
But less of a beer belly.
Yeah,
it just doesn't fit him. I can't see him without the beer belly.
Oh, no, absolutely. Well, there you go.
He'd be wrong.
Listen, I've got the dad bod, not the Kratos dad
It's
bod.
his most
Yeah, exactly.
defining physical feature.
Yeah. In short, the solution is simple. Destroy the paintings, slash them, burn them, and the curse would be released. But it takes some time to figure that out. But once that is done, Seth has disappeared into nature. He is never to be found again.
I was gonna go find him.
Well, Cambions have that ability to shapeshift.
Oh shit! He was a Cambion.
Yeah.
There's a what now?
A Cambion is a
Cambion.
lesser type of. I think it's devil.
He's a half devil.
It's a
It's a half devil. They're basically viewed down upon by their own kind because they're only half devils.
Yeah.
I see.
I know this because I'm researching for a half-devil player character.
Okay.
She's angry and
Also,
Scottish and a
one thing
half-devil.
I'd like to specify that I've done at some point since we finished combat is I will have taken a sort of flask from my belt and just drunk it, which is just regular honey mead. But as I do, you'll just sort of see my wounds just sort of disappear.
Dwarven Constitution.
Well, and a little extra.
Yeah, no, just a little something for like the other party members to either ponder upon if they haven't seen me drink alcohol to heal before, or if not, definitely for the owner and the halfling to just be concerned about my health. As I'm just chugging hard liquor and just
Don't be
wounds are
concerned
gone.
if he's drinking it. Be concerned when he's run out of it in the middle of a fight.
The episode way of the drunken master.
To be honest, if we ever did get into a fight, like my whole plan was to not do a lot of damage, was just be nigh impossible to kill. Because I had the drunkard's amulet that would heal 46 in an emergency.
Wow.
And I also had the dwarven feat that like lets you dodge and use a hit dice in the middle of combat. So if we actually did get into combat, it would have been very hard to take me out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say if we had gone into combat, then we would have needed an extra session. But unfortunately,
Oh, I'm sure.
Let's.
Ultimately, I'm glad that things turned out this way.
Yeah.
Did we get this room described up here?
I can give you the quick description of the. So that would be.
If there was anything truly important in here for our like.
So this
epilogue.
is so the in here the description reads: the air grows cooler as you near the top of the tower, and it carries a putrid scent. You might once have been what might has once been an elegant bedroom has long since been soiled and ruined. Murals of Sune that lined the walls have been defaced with dirt and filth. 3 beds covered in moldy blankets and animal furs, including one topped with a canopy of giant bones and reeking untanned hides. Empty crates are scattered throughout the room like furniture, holding broken weapons, moldering clothing, and other odd objects. This is the hag's room, basically.
Yes.
Well, I mean, and scratch into the floor at the top of the stairs is a glyph of warding, but we don't care about that.
It goes, and then fades. It makes the pufferfish eating a carrot.
Yeah.
Fades away.
Yeah, so here we go. Piles in the victims' quarters. Piles of straw and moth-eaten blankets have been set into this area as rough beds, and broken furniture and garbage is scattered around. In contrast to the squalor, 4 fine paintings hang along the curved outer wall. Each one is hauntingly beautiful, but also strangely unnerving to look upon. So think Haunted Mansion, Disneyland.
Yes.
Nice.
The eyes look at you as you walk past.
Yeah. And as for the last one where Falthrax is right there, a dank scent fills the air in this well-used kitchen. 3 tables stand into the room. One of them is covered in varied vegetables and strange-looking cuts of meat. A wood stove burns brightly against the far wall, and a statue of a winged elf, which is also a gargoyle, stands in the corner, its face carved into an open-mouthed smile. An elderly dwarf stands before the stove, his hands trembling as he tries to lift a heavy iron pot. And this is Falthrax, the person that Callahan came here to look for. Right.
There you are.
Look, usually I would announce that this is the end of the episode, and for those who just want the story, they can move on to the next. But I think we should just start the debriefing now. And so, first of all, I would like to thank my players for this adventure. It's a bit. I feel a bit rushed on the end because we were coming up on time. But you did all the right things, and so I didn't have to pull my Deus Ex get you out of there card.
My time travel gun. You are no longer here. Bang. Again, just mirroring what you just said, it is a shame that we did have to quote unquote rush this. But for cinematic sense, you could probably imagine the characters doing their individual thing in that battle.
Yeah.
I didn't get to cast Jump, which is the spell that I took for an Artificer Initiate. But
Yeah.
you could probably imagine a very, very swift bird vertically eluding this gargoyle with a stupid stealth check every round,
Yeah, fair enough.
taking a
There's-
shot and then stealthing, and if
Yeah.
the gargoyle go, "Arp!"
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a version of this where Callahan interacted with Arcisa a little bit more, and where we explored the possibility of Callahan getting a portrait, or maybe trying to try to explore further the way of getting rid of the synthetic aberrant mark.
Yeah.
Because what I had in mind essentially for Callahan was press ganged into the war. Like this is a changeling, an old changeling that was somehow bound with this synthetic mark, used as a leash, sort of Suicide Squad style. On top of granting certain abilities, the mark is slowly killing him, unless maintenance is done.
Yeah.
And with the end of the war, the idea was, okay, I was told that my service would be up, and this dwarf guy was supposed to be the contact, letting me know how to spring the leash, and then he disappeared.
Yeah. So Falthrax, just so that
So that's the connection.
Yeah, so that's the connection. So there's a little bit more, is that Falthrax actually had discovered a year ago the power of the hags, or the three sisters, that could produce miracles. And so what his plan was to basically, as a reward for extracting him or whatever, saying, no, I know a place where they can actually do this. They can actually make this miracle.
Oh, God.
And so he basically got caught in the scam and was bringing you into it. So if he had not disappeared in a way, he would have called you in and you would have been a victim. The unfortunate thing is that the Hag's enchantment lasts for 1 year to the day. And so a year later, as he had given you, said, oh, I know this place, they can work miracles, but never got to communicate with you to stay away because it was a trap.
Ah.
And the sisters made sure
all the buffs for a year, and then it comes back with a vengeance.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, so for example, the kobold was actually a tiefling. In polymorphed. Which is why he was so eloquent.
I see.
Yeah.
I was wondering about that.
Well, now you
It's
know.
like it's not unusual to have like unique kobolds that then are able to speak with a bit of eloquence. Like although most kobolds you would expect to be a little bit like gremlin-y, like that little small creature energy.
Let's I'll show you the full map here.
The fog of war is gone.
Yes. So here you go. This is the
no
full
way,
map.
Guys! Did you see that? There's a red tree over there. That's crazy.
Right. So this is So again, I was actually quite surprised at how well you guys worked together and got into it, to be honest. Hawthorne, I know that you are on the time on a time crunch here. So, any last words that you have? Any questions you might have? Any questions left unanswered?
Not really. I'm glad that we didn't discuss the background. You offered that in a previous round, and I just would like to thank. I really enjoyed the whole journey. I feel like I still need to learn and play more, and this definitely was something that I enjoyed the most.
I mean, for somebody who mentioned that you were inexperienced, it did not feel that way. So, definitely. Yes. yes, folks, you listening at home, this will be us flinging compliments at each other. Deal with it.
It's doctor, just giving you some handshakes.
Yeah, exactly. No, this is so this is the second time that I've run this adventure, and I'm really, really happy that you guys got into it. I think there was a comment made by one of you last time, was going, not expecting to go as deep into character on a one shot. And I'm just as surprised as you are. So I'm really, really happy that you guys got to play
in such an environment as well, where roleplay is basically the king. Like combat takes a big side, like a big step back in this. Unless you want to force it, then you get run down by 3 hags at full strength.
Three. So you get run down by 3 hags, a cambion, and 6 scarecrows.
The
Are
hellhound.
the scarecrows in here? Is that what the acolytes are?
Yep. That is what the acolytes are.
Those scarecrows.
No.
Yeah,
if you've not
they're
played
vicious.
Scarecrows
Yeah,
are vicious.
They're
I love
very-
paralysis. I
Yeah.
love it so much.
No, coming at this with the whole murder hobo thing is not going to get you anywhere. Which I've got a couple of friends that discovered this
you
the bad way.
mentioned that.
Yeah.
Was it Green Song that they started having a go at, or was it Morgana?
No, so what happened was the sorceress went Karen on Morgana because her her magic staff had been stolen.
Right.
And would not take we'll get to you in a moment, right? She said, no, I want it now. In the meantime, Green Song was talking to the satyr one of the bunch, who had described as, fairly short, very young, very sort of, and ideal for getting into the pot, basically. And so when he got sort of moved to the side, the drunken master monk basically said, you know what, you're not taking our satyr, get back here, and started attacking folks. To be honest, it was 3 a.m. I was tired. We should have had ended an hour earlier, gone to bed, and continued the next morning. But basically, it turned into a slaughter, and all of us came out of a bit frustrated. So, folks, remember, don't play get some rest, basically, is what I'm telling you. So
I played a cursed game of D&D at 3 a.m. in a dark alleyway.
yeah.
Remember, 8 hours of sleep is important, kids.
Yeah.
David, thank you for
And most
playing.
Talking about that.
Yeah, Dave. Look, David,
Yeah.
thank you a lot for this. I hope that like all of us that you learned the lessons that you were looking for, and happy to play with you again.
Appreciate
Professor
it.
Hawthorne.
Appreciate it too.
Professor Hawthorne
Everyone.
now exists in our multiverse.
Yes, absolutely.
He is there.
Well,
Bye bye.
Thank you
Have
so
a
Take
much.
care.
Take care.
Bye bye.
All right.
Yeah, get 8 hours of sleep and don't trust how you feel about your life after 9 p.m. are the 2 general rules of thumb.
By the way, Bradley. So, because
Yeah.
you've played with me before, how did this
Yeah.
rank up with your previous experience?
I can't put them on a pedestal, or like I can't rank them against each other because they are fundamentally polar opposites.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas the previous thing was non-stop combat. Whereas this was like the only combat encounter we had was done through roleplay.
Yeah.
This was entirely roleplay. So I wouldn't compare them to each other. The only thing that I would say is that it was certainly sort of a different change of pace. And I'd still say it went very well. It was still very fun. So it's mostly just continuing to build up the image of a great DM that I already had of you, now through a roleplay sense, rather than running encounters.
Thank you. You're putting me on a pedestal right there. I don't know if I feel comfortable with that. This,
well, you asked for praise and you got it.
yes, I did, didn't I? Anyway,
And you should.
Yeah. Tapping fingers together. I did, didn't I?
Ethan, how about you?
This was a lot of fun. Thank you for putting up my shenanigans. I say
Thank-
it every time,
Yeah,
and
but
thank you for putting up my noises. I do enjoy making funny bird noises at people.
What do you mean putting up with? That was amazing.
I think the only person you have to apologize for putting up with is your throat.
No, it's fine.
You
God,
better.
If there's anything my throat hates, it's going to work.
Yeah.
So I'm speaking constantly at my work. I go home.
What do
and
you do?
I basically just die. Sales.
Huh.
I'm a
All
sales
right, yeah,
assistant
that'll
currently.
do it.
Yeah, so I basically just speaking to literally everyone that comes to the till.
And next time
And that's not great on me.
next time I need to voice a small. You know what? Next time you're at my table, I will prevent you from playing anything else than a small small creature with a strange voice. So
I get
prepare
to make a third kobold. Let's go.
not kobold. You know, let's open up to any. No, you know what? I want to see you play a map pack. Which are the
Did you throw a curse at me? What did you
no.
just say?
So the map pack are the Humble Woods. Come on, raton laveur.
Oh, raccoons.
Oh,
The raccoons.
Raccoon, yeah.
They're amazing. Look them up. They're amazing.
Huh.
I've seen the image.
Sorry,
of
what
the,
was
of
it?
the
Map
The
pack.
Mac?
Map pack.
Map pack.
There's
Okay,
a-
because
just post a
I'm
picture of
hearing Map Pack.
in the
Yeah, that's what I'm
Discord channel.
hearing.
He's jumping like Five Nights at Freddy's Foxy.
Yep.
Trying to think of a voice for a raccoon.
Here we go.
I don't know. It'd probably just be like kind of Khajiit-esque from the Elder Scrolls Skyrims. But I'd have to kind of workshop one before I even start.
You could either go full on Rocket Raccoon, or you could
Yeah.
go Neat Freak. You know.
I don't watch many stuff, so I'm gonna upset a lot of people when I say I haven't watched
No, don't worry about it.
Guardian. Yeah.
But yeah. And so last but not least, how about you, BD?
This has been a delight. This has been an absolute delight. I fully confess, I love role play both as a player and as a DM. May have something to do with the fact that even though I've DM'd D&D for a while, I kind of still suck at combat and kind of like, designing encounters and keeping an eye on it. So I thought it was really cool that we managed to, as I think it was, as you mentioned last session, I think it was the professor who said that we got into the RP of it all, and that you gave us space to do that. And again, Brad, the fact that you do bird sounds and that like Anput was so damn endearing, and to have also. Sorry, Ethan. Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was
we
a
literally
drunk.
have
I
only
was
talked
not.
Yeah. Hey,
for
no,
four
but you're.
sessions.
I'll
It's
say
fine.
that though. You're drunk. Having the notion of you have this traumatized Medusa coming right out, and you're gonna, oh, so you're in charge. I have notes. That was I love how consistently funny your character was, and how you kind of like played off the tone of the show, of the setting. And it was really, of course, certainly last but not least, for our dear DM, because I've known you for a while now, almost going up on 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first time I've had the chance to be at your table. It's great. I love the way that you run a table. I love the way that you hold space. And thank you for go down the rabbit hole. I look forward to the next one.
This is the sound of me blushing.
Aww.
No, I take pleasure in your words as much as I take pleasure in mine. And yeah, thank you for telling this story with me. This has been a truly this has been a very interesting experience for me, because it's a scenario that I truly enjoy. It's a scenario. A lot of the Candlekeep mysteries are not combat focused. They're very much discovery mysteries, and there was a while where I was actually thinking, you guys are so much into the role play. I keep trying to hook you into getting back into the plot, and you've seen the plot, you've grabbed the hook, you're pulling on the thread, but I'm going, guys, we only have 2 sessions left.
Well, we gotta enjoy our ice cream.
Absolutely, 100%, 100%.
I paid for the ice cream. I'm gonna eat every bit of it.
So yeah.
I mean, it's kind of the trick of it, right? Trying to have because if you have just the plot and you have players that just tick all the boxes, you could do this in about what? You could technically do this in 3 hours.
No,
Like
no,
one
I don't
session.
think so. Well, no, you could. The idea,
But at what price? At what
here's-
cost?
well,
Speed
don't-
run.
at the price of beauty.
Yeah. Hey.
No, there's the way the adventure is structured. There's a lot of different ways that you can approach it, right? As in, technically, you can get the full story from almost every NPC that's been affected by the hags. So you can get the full story from the kobold. As to they are hags and we are transformed and we are cursed. You can get the disappearance from Silvari from the drow, which I turned into a human because I didn't find the right photo that I was happy with. You could get and if you met any, so basically just out of those 2, you could get the full story. And of course the naiad. The naiad knew everything. Right, she knew they were hags. She knew that the servants were. So you can learn very quickly what's going on. Right? There's
Callahan was in the perfect position.
Yeah.
To get information from that naiad.
There is actually there was a world where Hawthorne and
Anput.
and no, Junnen.
No.
As you saw the naiad sort of come up and then disappear, if you had gone to the hags, well, to the sisters, saying you've got something in your pool.
Oh, they would have eliminated it, right?
No, they would have asked you to eliminate her.
that's even worse.
And so there is this moment where there was a possibility that they would have given you basically a potion to drop into the pool to bring her out.
That's so mean.
Right? And at which point then she could have pleaded for her life, or she could have said, why are you doing this? There would have been a moment where she would have splashed you with her water and surprised that it didn't hurt you. Because you were not evil characters.
Oh boy! Delightful.
So there's that whole thing that could have been a revelation as well. So there's what I really like about this is that there are many avenues of discovery. And as a GM, in my first time, I wanted the players to hit every single one. Right? These are great encounters. I want you to hit all 4 of them. It didn't happen.
That's a big ask.
And here, in here, basically, I realized all you need is 1, but I need 1 to make it special. Right? I didn't want you to be immediately suspicious with the kobold. That's why I decided to put all the information into the naiad. If you had not met the naiad or you hadn't done what you had done, then it would most likely have been the infiltrated drow, the massage therapist,
Yes.
who had himself. He was actually looking for Silvari, who was his contact. So there was that kind of thing.
If we had waited the extra day for some reason, would Henry have disappeared?
Henry would have appeared as he would have appeared in the portrait, as in completely healed, most likely a couple of wrinkles less, completely fit, and would have thanked everybody and left because he was cured for 1 year.
So the idea I've got is that for 1 year, then the curse activates.
Yep.
And then you're basically brought back.
Essentially, yeah. No, he would. If you had waited an extra day, and you would have seen Henry come out, and he would have basically. I think that might have been the argument to confirm that this is the right thing to do, right? And I think that might have been an argument to persuade Anput or Callahan.
That would have been if there weren't any immediate side effects. Because Anput's idea was, they're going to do something to me right here and now with the portrait.
That's what I said.
If Henry had gone, I recommend this, thumbs up, that would have been enough for Anput.
Yeah.
It's a very greedy question, but what would have happened to Anput?
She would have been able to speak fully for a year. And then I think that
here it comes.
A year down the road, she might have been hit with the Kenku curse.
Oh my goodness!
As in only being able to repeat words that she heard. So
Nice.
It's fundamentally turning you into a Kenku.
Words? Yeah, would she have forgotten all the words that she had learned at that point? So she'd have to start again. Yeah, that is incredibly cruel, and exactly on the money.
Yep. No. We would have if this were an ongoing campaign, and a year later, we would have basically mechanically we would have exchanged your species to Kenku.
That is fucked up.
Yeah.
And beautiful.
Raptors have a lot of very unique, quite a few unique features. They're the specific raptor I am a Maran raptor.
Yeah.
I have a swimming speed. I have a patient feature that allows me to have advantage on held actions, things like that. Like basically, they would have just fucking ravished Anput.
Yeah.
They probably would have defeathered her as well.
No, not defeathered. No.
No.
You would have just found.
I'm imagining that now.
You would have definitely your features would have shifted to be a Kenku.
Okay. That is.
But then again,
I didn't know it was after a year.
This is speculation. Yeah, this is
down the
definitely
line. What could have been?
Yeah.
I only had 3 days, right? Because if we waited too long.
So here's the thing about Callahan is that Callahan, the person Callahan was impersonating is somebody you knew. And Callahan was scheduled to arrive 3 days later, and so the changeling,
holy shit! Wait,
would have had to leave next morning.
Okay, yeah. So that was confusing me in the first session we had when we had a look at the book, the log book.
Yeah.
Junnen, Lucius, Anput, expected today. Callahan, expected in 3 days or today.
Yeah.
I did not pick up on that.
So the idea was
Callahan and a character named Alexandra.
Yeah.
Was also supposed to arrive with them as well.
Would have arrived you would have sent second night. They would have arrived end of day, so the end of the next day, basically. At that point, Callahan would have to run away because basically a doppelganger right in the face.
You are despicable. And that is
Spider-Man
perfect.
looking at Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Your generic GM said you can lie. You took that phrase and crushed it in your hand. And absorbed its power.
Oh, there are elements in Callahan's story that we came up with last week.
You were running it on the fly. That's great.
Oh,
I was running on vibes mostly.
I have a rule at my tables, which is as long as your backstory is not played in front of the camera, you're free to change it at any time and to shift it around, right? As long as it keeps with the logic of the world and the gameplay. And so
That makes sense.
we went through for Callahan at least. I mean, it helps that we meet up on a regular basis and we've talked about this character for a while now, and so we fine tuned into a character that I actually find really really interesting. The whole. By the way, for Callahan, he would have taken the dragon mark would have been taken away, but in a year, you would have most likely lost the ability to shift.
Would they have remained as their changeling self?
Yeah. So the white,
yeah.
but the elder version, right? Because Callahan is old. So it would have been as for Junnen, I was looking for something. At some point, I was going, but Junnen's not going to play that game.
There wasn't play that game. There was absolutely nothing in the world that would have had him take the deal.
Sober.
No.
They take his drink away.
I actually
I would have been like Sam in Lord of the Rings. There's absolutely nothing they could have done to tempt me.
And that's actually something that I found really interesting, which means that when I started sort of interacting with you on that point and realized, oh, he's not going for the deal. He's not going to be tempted. That's exactly what I need in a group that can be tempted, right? We talked about Hawthorne's old age. At some point, we had the voice, we had the dragon mark, and Junnen was there going, "No, I'm good.
I'm good. I like me. I wouldn't change me for the world."
And that is something that in this scenario, where the enemy has this focus on your faults and the way you see yourself, right? It's very, very interesting. And to be honest, an incredible shout out to Mark Humes for writing this way. The way he wrote the characters, the way he suggested that this is and well, I won't say much because it's not my story to tell, but look him up. High Rollers, look him up on Twitch, on his streams. I might actually put him a shout out in the comments. Or the description, but when it comes to body dysmorphia, it's not a subject that he's ignorant on, and I like the way that he's put it into the scenario as a perversion of. Imagine a temple where you can be yourself, where you can become yourself, and that is perverted. And I think that's a very interesting subject to explore. And so I'm very glad that I got to explore it with you guys.
That type of ideal is a terrifying power to be able to have a hold of.
Yeah.
For some people that you wouldn't recognize them. I know a few people like that. If you give them that power, they will become something entirely different.
Yeah, go ahead.
For those of you who are maybe aware of it, there's this horror anthology podcast called The Magnus Archives.
Yeah.
And some of the stories.
I'm loosely familiar.
Yeah. Without going into too much details, it's essentially you have different kinds of stories, different kinds of phobias and fears. And there are some episodes that have to do with phobias to do with flesh, body. And there's ways to go really, really dark, I think, with this sort of setting. And thank you for us down that road. But yeah, you could turn this into absolute horror show, I think. But you need to be careful of your audience, because I think that there's so many people who in some way, shape or form, be it kind of like bulimia, be it gender dysphoria, be it kind of like just the living up to an impossible ideal, or having some sort of disability or whatnot.
Absolutely.
Like there's so many ways in which like people in our world would be tempted by some of that.
Oh, of course. the miracle
Yep.
cure to whatever you think is imperfect in you. Oh, absolutely. No, and I'd be really interested in the to see how Sylvari has to go up to all these people who've been traumatized by these three and sort of heal them. And there's a whole thing behind that. But that is not for us to explore just here, because I am not a licensed therapist and you are not my patients.
Yeah.
You've been,
Yeah.
all four of you, incredible players. And I thank you once again for it.
Thank you
you
for the
so much.
opportunity.
We are going to come to our final words here, at least for the recording. If we want to keep talking, that's up to us. First of all, a couple of thanks. So thank you to my players. Thank you to Game Master Worlds for allowing us to meet up and play. Links to the Discord will be in the description. Quick reminder: if this is still the month of May, have a look at the Kickstarter that this Discord is launching. Travels at a Glance, I believe they've called it. Again, the Kickstarter is just about to launch as we are recording. Have a look. I'm one of the writers, but there are other much more talented writers involved with this. Please have a look if you've got the means, if you've got the will. And lastly, I could advertise myself as a paid GM on Start Playing. Who knows? Maybe you'll be able to play this scenario and others. I'll be putting up that on my page soon enough. So please go and have a look. Link should be below as well. I'm getting a lot of advertisement in my descriptions, and I don't like it. But on that note, the last thank you is to you watching or you listening, and we will if what you've heard here is of any interest to you, I would invite you to have a look at the rest of the channel. We've got we've got the other Bradley one shot, but
Brad shot.
Yeah, the Brad shot.
Completely different theme. If you thought this was
Completely.
missing a bit of combat, the
Yeah,
other
absolutely.
one
We'll
I'm
handle,
sure,
yeah.
more than suffice.
Yeah. It's a bit late
Dude.
now as this is part whatever, but do one and then the other, and so you can balance each other out.
You can see the difference between
Watch them both at the same
Junnen
time.
and I forgot what the other character I played was, but Human Wizard.
Junnen. Junnen and Bunin.
Junnen, but not an alcoholic and with his life together. Still a bit of a father figure, though. I've noticed that's a role I've fallen into in your campaigns.
Yeah, fair enough.
I take a background role and just make sure to sort of be a safety net.
Yeah, the safety net being the barbarian. Yeah, fair. What's that? Angry barbarian privilege.
Well, if you have to fall into a loving embrace, I feel like the burly hands of a barbarian is not the worst
Absolutely.
way to get comfort.
Sturdy shoulders on that dwarf.
Well, there's two ways you end up in the burly hands of a barbarian. It's one of them's very, very violent, and you'll end up in the floor, and the other one's very,
One of
very
them is
loving.
a hug, and the other's a bear hug.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching, and
Thank you so much. And thank you to our DM.
Yes, I'll advertise one last, which is the main campaign. If you want a bit of role play, and if you're into the role playing and less combat, definitely have a look at the Wilds Beyond the Witchlight campaign that I'm currently running with my main group. It's really one of them. If you thought that this was interesting, go explore that one. Very Wizard of Oz, very eclectic and very sort of whimsical. It's definitely something that I'm proud of. So please go and have a look and do the whole subscribe, comment. I want to hear more comments, so feel free. Okay.
You can't hear words, silly. You have to read them.
Well, I can
yes,
hear them
please
in my
comment.
head, believe me.
Comment for the algorithm.
Yay! Okay, that's it. We're out. The word algorithm
Beat the
was
corporate
invoked.
machine.
It means we're gone. Okay.
Comment for the comment god.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
And we're out. Oh, you go ahead.